You like to take videos and are interested in the OnePlus 6? In this video I'm going to talk about the camera app, the video quality, video stabilization and audio quality of the OnePlus 6. Let's have a look at the camera app and the settings by opening up the camera and switching to video mode. On the bottom left we can choose the resolution, which can be 720p, 1080p, 1080p 60fps, 4K, 4K 60fps. I personally like to record with 4K 60fps because the quality is really good and the stabilization is also great, even with 60fps. More on that later. Besides that, we have basic camera controls, like we can turn on the flash or we can turn it off. We also have tap to focus, but if you want to lock the autofocus, you can just press and hold. But what's really cool is that we have a 2x zoom here with almost no quality loss. The great thing about this one is that the stabilization is also still working really well. Of course, if you like, you can also zoom up to 8 times, but that will result in a lot of noise. And that's pretty much it for the settings. You actually don't have that many. When you open up this menu, you can just go to the main settings, but this one is for mostly the photo camera only, and the most useful thing you can open up here is the geotagging, so you always know where you recorded your videos, and also turn on the grid, which is always very useful to have. However, what you do have are different video modes. We have time-lapse and slow motion. While time-lapse is something that pretty much any phone can do very well, and I don't think I have to show you, we have the slow motion, which is pretty interesting. Because the OnePlus 6 can record 720p 480fps and 1080p 240fps. You cannot record in 960fps, but that is actually not that much of a bad thing, because timing that 0.2 seconds for getting 6 seconds of video material is really hard. On the OnePlus 6 you have no recording limit, so you can record as much as you want and also choose how much you want to have in slow motion. And the great thing is, even with 720p you have really good quality. The sharpness, the colors, the contrast is really good, and this is pretty much the setting that I prefer. So I usually like to take 720p 480fps. So let's talk about the video quality. On daylight, the video quality is really good. We have great colors, we have great sharpness, and the stabilization is really good because the OnePlus 6 uses EIS and OIS at the same time. This is very new, we didn't have OIS before, but this time we do, and it is really good. Of course, the quality during daylight is really good, but what about nighttime? The great thing is that both sensors on the OnePlus 6 have an aperture of 1.7, and this means even during low light you will have good quality, and this is basically the case here. You don't really have much noise even when zooming, and basically the colors, the quality, it's really good. And what I like to say is that the OnePlus 6 is one of the best video camera smartphones. Of course, the Galaxy S9, the iPhone X and the Pixel 2 are great for video, but the OnePlus 6 comes really close as most premium smartphones don't get. When we look at the front camera, we have the choice between 1080p 30fps and 720p 30fps. The great thing is that the video quality of the front camera is also really good. But what's even better is the stabilization, because it does feel like you have a gimbal in your hands. Other than that, the image is really sharp and we have great dynamic range, which a lot of front cameras tend to have a problem with. But what about the sound quality? Well, I'm recording with the OnePlus 6 right now, so you can decide for yourself, but personally I think that the sound got better compared to the 5T. It's still not the greatest, it can still get better with the next OnePlus, but in general the sound is quite natural. The sound is basically quite usable, so if you want to shoot videos with it, it's good enough, I think. Of course you can, since we have a 3.5mm headphone jack, you can plug in a microphone, which makes it obviously much better. So that was it for this video. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments section. If you like this video, I'd be happy if you'd give us a like, otherwise the dislike button is right next to it. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and watch my tips and tricks for the OnePlus 6. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Umit for Mobile Geeks.